Hey guys, so I'm gonna do kind of like a book haul slash collective haul. These are all mystery slash thriller kind of books. I've had these for a couple of months now and haven't read them, so I've decided to make it a goal that I at least get through half of these before the end of January, possibly, but I'm not sure. But definitely will be finishing this up in the first 2 months of the new year. So let's get started. The first book that I have here is called Death is Forever, and it's by Elizabeth Lowell. And it's a pretty thick book. It's about a girl who is going to Australia because one of her like distant relatives or someone he has left land for her. He basically passed away without telling her where the land is, and this is really important because the main character, whose name is Erin, she believes that this land holds a diamond mine and probably worth a million dollars. So she is desperate to know where this place is, and she's not the only one who wants to know where the basically bad guys want to know where the land is too, and she is left to ask for help from a character called Cole Blackburn, who is a geologist, but he's also known to be very dangerous to trust, but she has no other option but to trust him, and that's where everything begins. So I am looking forward to reading this because it sounds really interesting, and I love thrillers and mysteries and horror books. Before I got into YA, that's all I basically read, so it's gonna be really nice getting back to these books. And the next book I have here is called Chosen to Die, and it's by Lisa Jackson, and this is the second book to Left to Die. I have the book right here. This is how it looks like, and I love Lisa Jackson's writing. It's really interesting and it keeps you on the edge. I read this like a couple of years back, and I decided to get this second book because I really wanted to know what happens. So I got the second one here. The story basically is about two cops who are female, and they are on a search for this killer, and he is called the star-crossed killer because he kills by the zodiac, I believe, and he only kills women. And the way he kills them is like not like not like stab them or anything. He like leaves them out in the cold winter, and he strips them out of their clothes and ties them on a tree or something like that in the cold winter, and they die really slow. So that's really gruesome, so I wanted to know what happens next. And at the end of this one right here, one of the cops is actually his victim, and he gets her, and she finds out that she's now like trapped in this place with him, and she has to find a way to escape and put him in prison. And her family and friends are worried because she's missing, and she usually doesn't go missing on the job like that. So this should be really interesting. I can't wait to read this, and it's pretty thick. So by Danielle, and it's called The Ghost, and I got this book in a yard sale, and it was only for like 5 cents or something, so I decided I would pick it up. It's about a guy who has the perfect life, the perfect marriage, and the perfect job, and all this goes bad when one day his 10-year marriage ends, and he is transferred to, I think, another place in New York. And So it's Christmas time and he leaves New York heading to Vermont to ski, and then he is suddenly trapped in a snowstorm in a small Massachusetts town where he meets an elderly woman who offers to rent him a place. And it's really deeply hidden in the woods. And the place where he's renting belonged to a woman who lived there like 2 centuries. And the moment he steps foot in the house, he can like totally feel her presence. So there is Bag of Bones by Stephen King, and it's a pretty thick book. I believe there is a TV show that's out based on this story. It's basically about a man who is grieving the death of his wife, and he is taking it pretty hard, and he is a best-selling novelist, and his name is Mike Noonan. And he moves away from their Western Maine summer house, which he calls Sarah Laughs, and he returns to his Yankee town, and he finds that it is being like controlled by this really big millionaire, and his name is Max, and Max is set to take his granddaughter away from her widowed mother. And Mike begins to fall in love with the granddaughter and the wife, and he's also drawn into the mystery of Sarah Laughs, which was his summer house, and now it's like the site of a ghostly visitation and escalating terrors. So this book is about a girl whose name is Jill, and she has an ordinary life, and she's just a river guide, and she is pulled into a world where her life is on the line because she saved the son of a St. Kilda consulting premier operator, and her aunt mysteriously dies, her great aunt, and she finally calls in for a favor, and his name is Zach Bulfer, who works part-time as a consultant for the St. Kilda. And though he has like skills to be a highly effective bodyguard, he being a bullet catcher isn't his preferred way of spending time, but he realizes that Jill is in deep trouble and that her life is on the line, and she'll really need his protection. And it also says, together Zach and Jill must race against time to unmask a ruthless killer hidden in the blue smoke of money, threats, lies, and debts. So basically, if you're into books that contain like murders, money, and stuff like that, this would be really good. I like those kind of books, so I can't wait to read this. The next book I have here is A Death in Vienna by Danielle Silva, and it's a New York Times bestseller. Basically it's about an art restorer and sometimes a spy. Gabriel Allen is sent to Vienna to discover the truth behind a bombing that gravely injured an old friend. Where was I? Old friend. But while there he encounters something that turns his world upside down. It is a face that feels hauntingly familiar, a face that chills him to the bone. While desperately searching for answers, Alan will uncover a portrait of evil stretching across 60 years and thousands of lives, and into his own personal nightmare. So, I can't wait to read this. The next book I have here is called Death in Holy Orders by P.D. James, and it's about a school, I believe, and it's is located in the bleak coast of East Anglia, and the school is called St. Anselm's, and mysteriously a boy is murdered, and his father is a hugely successful and flamboyant businessman who always gets what he wants, and he hires Commander Adam Dalglish to investigate the murder of his son. And although there's nothing to investigate, Dalglish agrees because he wants to revisit his school, which he attended when he was younger, and the happy summers he spent there. And no sooner does he arrive, however, the college is like torn apart by horrifying murders, and Dalglish finds himself drawn into it and violent mystery. So this should be really interesting. I remember starting like the first chapter, like this was in high school, and I never got around to finishing it. So I am excited to read this. I got this at my university book sale. It was like for $3 or something. So this should be interesting. That's all I have with my mystery and thriller books. I'm definitely gonna be finishing these up, and if you want to see any reviews on any of the books, please let me know down below, and I will gladly do a review on them. And if you guys read any of these, please let me know and tell me how you liked it. And yeah, the book that I'm reading at the moment is Salem's Lot by Stephen King, and I'm this much into it. It's a pretty thick book, but it's so interesting, and honestly, books like horror books don't really scare me unless I'm watching a movie or something, but this book literally creeps the heck out of me every time I read it. I literally had paranoia when reading this. I remember I was reading it one night, and then I was so, I don't know, I just so scared to close the lights. I was like, oh my god. And I called my boyfriend. I'm like, I can't sleep. And he's like, what's wrong? And I told him, I'm reading Stephen King's Salem Law, and I can't sleep because of it. And he's like, he just like rolled his eyes. So yeah, this is really good. If you're a horror fan, if you're a Dracula fan, definitely read this. I think this comes really close to being one of the best horror books next to Dracula by Bram Stoker. This has to be like my favorite. I can't wait to finish this. Probably finish it tonight, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's all with this haul, collective haul kind of thing. I will talk to you guys later. Bye!